Aloha and welcome to Exploring Aerial Yoga. My name is Patrick Faris and I am coming to you from the Air House in Hilo, Hawaii today, where I'm grateful for their very tall ceilings because we're going to do a really fun group of poses today. Anjaneyasana, or our typical low lunge, is actually going to turn into what we call an aerial stag pose, which is not so much a low lunge alone, it's a little bit of deer and low lunge together. And then we're going to be going into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, or our fingers to our big toes. So that is a hard pose for me, but you're going to see this because we're in the air. We're going to have a lot of traction pulling us down. And we're going to be flying through all of these poses, ending finally in our Virabhadrasana I or II, depending on how you make this. I am on a spinning rigger, so I will be kind of moving around a little bit in this. I hope it doesn't make you dizzy. It shouldn't make me dizzy, but as with all aerial poses, please make sure that you are working within your capacity, that you have a crash pad if need, that you have a spot if needed. This we are going to go into 3 different locks, building higher and higher into the fabric. Most aerialists will refer to this as a kind of cat's cradle. So if you already are familiar with this, awesome. Make it a yoga pose by bringing your breath along. As we get into this, we are going to start first in backpack, just making sure that that fabric is nice hip height, because we are going to invert going into this. You of course can go higher. Always use caution if you are going to go higher. Again, this is a much more complex pose, and we're going to be going through 3 different variations, building, building, and building. Starting off first in our backpack, pushing down. Thumbs are going to stay by our sides, not behind us, but just pushing down. And as we come here into our gentle inversion, making sure that we are in the center of our fabric, trying not to swing if we can. As we lift up, of course, we will invert here. Inverting here, going into that simple inverted Tadasana, that mountain pose, or candy cane as some people like to call it, when we're inverted, because we want to make sure that one foot is going to be locked up. We're going to plant or flex that foot up against the fabric. The other foot is going to go back. And as it goes back, the most important thing here is keeping the knees together. So as you're working again in that Tadasana, it's not the external rotation that we feel when we're on the floor, but when we're in the fabric, our safety is everything comes together. So we internally rotate. We push that one foot back as mentioned. The other foot goes even further back. Knees are together. And here, of course, we want to pull up. Maybe you swing up. Maybe you slowly climb up. You're going to grab that free fabric where the knee is pushed back. And you can see how that knee naturally wants to come towards you. Don't let it. Keep that knee back. You're going to reach about the height of your foot. And most importantly here, pull up. Keep those elbows against the ribs. Keep the knees together. This is a hard pose to hold, but as you rotate around, you'll keep that fabric on the thigh. You push out, and now you're in stag. I will try to move to the side so that you can see this here. In stag, of course, we are pushing. So this is our low lunge. As we go deeper here, the variation becomes a little bit harder. We reach up to both fabrics and we pull the body up, pushing out, keeping that fabric in the arch of the foot. We kick out and then we bring it underneath us. That knee has to stay to the outside of the pull. If it goes to the inside of the pull, you're going to slide out. So again, keep it to the outside of the pull. But once you're sitting here, that other fabric is loose. It's so loose that if we reach up to that bound fabric, we can actually take that leg out. Look how loose that fabric is, because I'm sitting and I'm locked. I'm going to take that fabric and I'm going to move it around me. As I move it around me, I'm going to pull my body up again, kick my leg out, and now I'm in my Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. You're only seeing my back end, so I will try to spin around to the front here. But as we are here, you can see we can just hang out here. There's no pressure on that standing leg like we would have on the ground. You can dorsal flex, you can plantar flex. You can really just relax into this pose. I, again, can push that leg out. I mean, I might want to stay here for another 5 minutes, but because we've got a video to go through, let's continue. Follow your breath. You're going to reach up high to both poles. And as you pull up, you're going to invert, keeping that leg out long. Your grounded leg, or the flying leg that would be grounded in this pose, is going to swing to the outside of this fabric, wrapping around. And then as we go there, we come up. And here I am in my Warrior I. You can use your head on that back fabric, and you're going to want to push through the toes because there's nothing there. Remember, in all of our Warrior Is, push through that pinky side of the foot. Again, you can hang out here. You can go deeper and deeper. And again, if you wanted to make this Warrior II, hands preferably crossing the fabric, one in front to push that leg out, one behind to keep you from falling out, and turn up and turn over. You can really play with that foot, and this fabric creates an amazing massage in the muscles because we are bound in so many poses. My core is bound in, my leg is bound up, my arm is pushing out, and again, I'm pushing through that pinky side of that grounded foot that's on what would be my back foot. Breathing here. Beautiful, amazing forms. Very strong. So again, do not take this pose lightly. As we come out, we always hold that fabric, unlocking that leg, coming back down. We have to, again, take that foot and sit on it. So as we take that foot, we pull the body up. We don't just drop. Upper body strength. We sit on that foot to bind it. We unwrap the fabric around us from the top and hold again high as you kick that leg out, dropping down. Point that toe. Keep that plantar flex in that fabric because that's going to drop down. We lean back here, taking the other foot up, unraveling. And again, that's a lot of work. So head to heart, not a lot of inverting, but still a lot of blood pressure, a lot of strength. So you saw how we started off in what essentially was a low lunge, or a cross between low lunge and stag. To me, that could be so many variations because as you are pushing out that fabric, just re-showing that pushing. I'll do the other side here. We, again, keep those legs nice. Going into the opposite side, knees stay together. The reason why our knees are together here is if they come apart, what's going to happen as I pull my body up is I'm going to end up on my shin. And this is not bad, but this is not what we're looking for. What we really want is on that thigh, and we push. So as we spin around here, as we push that fabric forward, this is what makes it a strong pose. From there, of course, we will bind that knee to the outside of the fabric, sitting on that foot. Take the other leg out, throw that fabric around, pull the body up into our stingray. Nice variations in form. Drawing big circles on the ground, of course, can help you, whether it's with your legs or your arms to spin around. But you can see this nice form here, opening up, breathing. Last setup of this, we lean back, throwing that leg over, lock at the knee, pulling the body up, and then as we sit into this warrior, notice the way my head can push back into that fabric. So whether you're really low, this leg is not as limber as the other leg, pushing back into that grounded foot. I can't go back as much, but my head is what can really hold here. Maybe even the side of your head, just to make sure that you have that good form wherever you are. Again, if you want to make this a Warrior II, your bent knee, hand comes in front, your grounded leg further back, hand goes behind, so that you're twisting, you're pushing back into that form. And breathe here wherever we are. Maybe you want to recline. Variations are also beautiful. Coming out, again, we lean back, holding the fabrics. Unwrap that leg first. Relock the foot. Take the fabric out and around. Pushing that leg out, still holding the fabric nice and tight. Pushing that leg out, pointing that toe, because when I let go, it has something to catch. Picking our other leg up, pushing out and down. And then here we are again. So, again, it is a beautiful but challenging pose. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Mahalo. Namaste.